Hey, Scott from the Iron Will Strength Studio. So on the Q&A today, a very popular question came in. I'm looking to lose some weight, get in shape, kind of get my body back. Should I start with strength training or cardio? So very common question. Understandably, a lot of confusion about this topic, and I think the answer might surprise you. 100% start with strength training. A lot of reasons for that, and I'll dive into them a little bit here, but for the most part, let's start with the fact that most people who begin an exercise program, hire a trainer, hire a coach, go to a gym, are basically looking to get some degree of a transformation of their body, right? Usually that transformation means the loss of body fat. So a lot of times when people say I want to lose weight, in essence what that means, what they really mean is lose body fat, okay? So the loss of body fat is very important because that's different from loss of weight, which I'll get to in a minute. But the loss of body fat is primary key to changing one's appearance. So the accumulation of body fat is what leads to belly, hips, back of the arms. Depending on male or female, it's a little gender specific where we store fat, but essentially body fat becomes deposited as we get older, and what most people are looking to do is remove that body fat, right? So when we say lose weight, we basically mean strip this shit off my waist or my hips. So to accomplish that, we need to do two things. We need to make sure that in the loss of that body fat, we don't lose muscle mass, okay? Muscle mass is what gives the body shape and function. Losing muscle mass is real, happens as we age if we're not strength training to preserve the muscle mass, and it also happens if we go into a caloric deficit, which in English is a diet, right? So it's very common for people looking to lose weight or fat to get on a diet, which typically, depending on where they go and who they talk to, will be a reduction in calories and various amounts of protein, fat, carbs, whatever. But basically it's going to be lower calorie, which is going to put the body in a caloric deficit, meaning it's going to start using some of its own tissues to provide energy. Sounds great, except that without strength training, either just dieting alone or even worse with the addition of cardio, the body will tend to lose equal parts muscle and fat, okay? So let me break down for you how this works and why this is a problem. If we have, let's just make the numbers easy. Client is 100 pounds and 40% body fat, right? So we can just, and again, these are just examples so you understand the concept. 40% body fat, so 60 pounds of muscle, 40 pounds of fat. This client begins a restrictive eating cardio plan, now loses 20 pounds. Problem is, 10 of those were muscle, 10 of those were fat, okay? So we went from 60 pounds of muscle to 50 pounds of muscle. We went from 40 pounds of fat to 30 pounds of fat. The proportions are the same, okay? So what has happened is this client now went from 40% body fat at this weight to 40% body fat at a smaller weight. You with me? Because he's lost muscle and fat equally, so his proportions are the same. So he actually doesn't look much better. He or she is smaller a little bit, but still, if they had a pear shape before, they got a pear shape now. If they had a round shape before, they have a round shape now. But they're not starting to see a V, they're not starting to see any muscle tone. It's just the same body, maybe one size down, right? Now, contrast that with the person that begins an aggressive strength training program and a proper nutrition program that is cutting calories just enough to lose body fat, but not so much that we're gonna start losing muscle mass. The key here is the strength training. Without strength training, the body has no reason to preserve muscle mass in a caloric deficit. So we start losing weight, the body pulls equally from fat and muscle because to the body there's really no difference. There's no benefit to one or the other. If anything, there might be more benefit to the body to store fat because that's a more effective energy source down the road. But anyway, when we incorporate strength training, now two things are happening that are awesome. Many things are happening that are awesome, but the two things that in this example are, one, the body now has a reason to hold on to muscle, okay? So in the caloric deficit, given the choice between muscle and fat, the body's gonna lose fat because it needs muscle to perform the strength training that we're doing on a regular basis. Number two, strength training properly, we're actually gonna be building muscle. So not only are we gonna avoid losing muscle, we're actually going to gain muscle in the process. Even if it's just a little bit, that makes a big difference, right? So now imagine this client started out 60 pounds of fat, or 60 pounds of muscle, 40 pounds of fat, begin an aggressive strength training program and a proper nutrition plan. They actually gain 10 pounds of muscle, so now they're at 70 pounds of muscle, and they lose 10 pounds of fat, so they're at 10 pounds down fat, but now they have actually dramatically changed the proportion, the percentage of fat. You feel me? So now this client has lost only 10 pounds total. Okay, the other client lost 20 pounds total, but this client has gained muscle and lost still 20 pounds of fat, but the addition of 10 pounds of muscle puts them only at a 10-pound net loss. But this client is starting to see V shape, starting to see definition in the arms, starting to see shape in the legs, thinned out in the thighs. This client might be down 2 sizes. Okay, people are asking this person, oh my God, how much weight have you lost? And they're like, only 10 pounds. But their body has changed so much from the composition. Client A, first client, has lost 20 pounds, but is only down a size and basically still looks the same. So people aren't even commenting, right? People aren't even noticing that she lost 20 pounds. This other client lost 10. I've seen it with 5, and people are, wow, how much weight have you lost? You look so much different. And it's literally 5 pounds on the scale, maybe not even anything on the scale, right? So without question, strength training and nutrition, the way to go for body recomposition and fat loss. Keep the cardio for later, or watch another video where I say that cardio sucks, and let's focus on strength and nutrition. Have a strong day.